Yes, investing in a retirement account, getting that employee match and tax advantage is important, but placing the bet on you is going to be the thing that exponentiates and accelerates your journey to financial freedom. Before we start talking about the 3 key investments you need in order to achieve financial freedom, let's first explore what financial freedom is in the first place. And it consists of essentially 3 key things. The first is full ownership. And this means that you own your house, your car, etc. outright. It means that you don't have any debt payments because you are completely debt free. Now, the second thing is that you have acquired enough assets that generate enough income to cover your mandatory expenses. And these are things like bills, food, shelter, and taxes. And the third piece is that those assets also generate enough income to cover your discretionary expenses. And these are tied to your lifestyle. So these are things like going out to eat, going out with friends and family, and engaging in hobbies. And so once you have achieved financial freedom, it means that you technically never have to work again unless you want to, because the assets that you've acquired cover all of your expenses, and you have de-risked your lifestyle as much as possible by getting rid of all debt. And so the question is, working a 9-to-5 job, can you achieve financial freedom? And if so, how? And these 3 key investments that we're going to talk about in this video are going to help you get there. So let's dive into it. The first key investment that's going to help you achieve financial freedom is your tax advantaged retirement account done right. And I say done right because first and foremost, you want to choose which retirement account type is going to best fit your personal financial situation. In the US, there are 2 main retirement account types. The first being your 401k, the second being your Roth IRA. And there are a few differences between both account types, but the key difference being how your money is taxed going into and out of your retirement account. But understanding the differences between those accounts and making the best decision between which is best for you is going to be important. But the other key thing that you want to consider when setting up your retirement account is making sure that you're not just parking money in your retirement account. You want to make sure that you are actively investing the funds in your retirement account so that your money can continue to grow, so that your money can work for you. And that's going to allow that compounding effect over the long term. So now that we've talked about some of the things that you need to consider as you set up your tax advantaged retirement account, let's now explore why it is going to help you achieve financial freedom. And the reason here is essentially twofold. The reason that your retirement account is tax advantaged is because you only pay taxes once. Whereas if you were to go take some of your income, open up a stock brokerage account like an E-Trade, Morgan Stanley, or Charles Schwab account, to then go invest money in the stock market, you are paying taxes twice. So let's kind of break down the difference here so you can really understand what I mean. Let's just take the example of a 401k. So if you were to invest money in your 401k, what you're doing here is you're taking your income. Before you pay income taxes on that money, you funnel it into a 401k account where you can then invest your money so it can grow tax free. And then only when you withdraw money from your 401k beyond 59 and a half years old do you pay tax on that money. However, when you invest in a stock brokerage account like E-Trade again, what you're doing is you're taking your taxed income. You are then investing that money in the stock market. And then when you sell your stocks, if you are making money on your investment, you are also going to pay taxes when you sell the stock. And so you are getting taxed twice. This is why a tax advantage retirement account is going to help you save money over the long term. Now, the second reason is that your employer may offer an employer match. And so this is a way for you to double up your money almost immediately. And so the way that an employer match works is that your employer will typically match a percentage of your salary if you put that money into your retirement account. So let's say your employer offers you a 5% match. And in your situation, 5% translates to $250 a paycheck. So for every $250 of your paycheck that you put into your retirement account, your employer is going to match that money and put $250 in as well, which means that you have essentially just turned $250 into $500. And then when you invest that money in your retirement account, you are exponentiating the compounding effect that you are able to achieve. And so this is why your tax advantaged retirement account is going to be crucial in helping you accelerate your journey to financial freedom. The second key investment that is going to help you achieve financial freedom is an S&P 500 index fund. Now, before we talk about the index fund, let's first talk about the index. The S&P 500 index is essentially a running list or a dynamic list of the 500 top performing companies in the US based on a metric called market capitalization. Now, market capitalization is essentially the total value of a company's outstanding shares in the stock market. And I won't dive into why market capitalization may be a good indicator of a company's financial standing or success in this video, simply because it is a rabbit hole that I implore you to deep dive into on your own time, simply because we don't have enough time here, but it will help you build your financial literacy. Now, the key thing to understand about the S&P 500 index is that it is just that. It is an index. It is a list of the top 500 companies. So you can't actually invest in it directly. What you can invest in is an S&P 500 index fund, which seeks to mirror the performance of the S&P 500 index by investing in each one of the companies represented in the index. And so the beautiful thing about an S&P 500 index fund is that it is passively managed. That means that you don't have an investor running analyses trying to figure out which companies are the best performing and then actively buying and selling stocks in order to align with their analysis. No, instead, your index fund is automatically invested in the companies in the index fund. It offloads all that analysis to the index itself, which translates to the benefit for you of lower management fees because you don't have someone actively managing the money in the index fund. So that is your first benefit, those lower management fees. The second benefit of investing in an index fund is that it is a self-cleansing asset, meaning that once a company drops off the S&P 500 index because of poor company performance, your index fund automatically divests from that company and reinvests in whatever company has taken its place in that S&P 500 index. Now, that means that over the long term, the S&P 500 is likely going to continue to grow as the economy grows. And we can see this because the S&P 500 index has realized an annualized return of approximately 10% growth. This means that over the long term, if you invest in an index fund that mirrors the S&P 500, your money will grow on average by 10%. The key here is annualized. What does annualized mean? Essentially, that means that some years the S&P 500 index fund may perform below 10%. Some years it may perform in the negative. But the longer that you keep your money in the S&P 500 index fund, the more your return is going to normalize around 10%. And so making sure that you are managing your psychology, not selling your index funds when the performance dips one year is going to be crucial to realizing that 10% growth. So the index fund is going to be crucial to helping you achieve financial freedom. And the third key thing that you need to invest in to achieve financial freedom is you. You have to invest in your personal development. When we talk about index funds and investing through retirement accounts, these are fairly reliable, slow growth strategies. Again, that S&P 500 index fund is going to have an annualized 10% growth rate over the long term, and you can invest money that is in your retirement account in index funds. But again, those are slow growth strategies. The wild card in your earning potential is you. And this is important because you can only invest the money that you have, and you have the ability to go out and make more money. So when you have personal finance knowledge, you are able to build a budget and make sure that you are funneling more money into your assets and investments. When you have investment knowledge, you are able to identify assets and assess risk. That means that you are able to make better investment decisions about your current portfolio, but also to identify opportunities to make better investments that may grow your money faster than 10% annualized growth. And then when you have business acumen, you start to understand what makes a business profitable. What are your customers looking for? And that can translate either into being more valuable in your career so you can demand a higher salary, or being able to start your own business where the sky is the limit. And so, yes, investing in index funds are important. Yes, investing in a retirement account, getting that employee match and tax advantage is important, but placing the bet on you is going to be the thing that exponentiates and accelerates your journey to financial freedom. Listen, anybody can achieve financial freedom. You just have to have a clear path to get there. And that's why we're here. If you don't believe that you can do better, we're here to make sure that you know better. So I hope you got value out of this video. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It's going to help this information get into the hands of those who could really benefit from it. And also make sure that you hit the comment section. Let me know if you thought that this video was helpful, what we could do better, and what topics you'd like us to dive into in the future. Again, we're really just trying to make sure that this is valuable to you all. So thank you for tuning in, especially if you are here at this point. And I'm signing off. Upskill professionals, helping you forge a path upward.